The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, guys? RussLyman here, and welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe, a podcast dedicated to retro video games, 80s, 90s, toys, and all things nostalgia. This week, we're jumping into the Warp Pipe, and we're taking a look at RC cars, remote control cars of the 80s and 90s. They're fun gimmicks, names, and a little bit about the commercials and ones we owned growing up. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Weekly Warp Pipe. I'm RussLyman.
What's up, guys? I'm Jay, NES Addict.
Yes. We are back at it. This is episode 20. 20 of these we've done, Jay.
Nice.
So we're going strong.
I like it.
How was your week?
Week was pretty good. Just getting kids back in school. I've started the process of looking for a job. I took the summer off, so now I gotta get my butt back to work and make some kashish.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Yeah. I went to New York yesterday, went to the Nintendo store.
Oh, that's right. You sent me pics of that.
Yeah. I didn't end up buying anything. I was going to buy a Yoshi hoodie, but they didn't have a medium, so I didn't pick it up.
Oh, well.
But I bought stuff there in the past, so I didn't really need to buy anything. We were just happened to be in New York for a concert, and I was like, oh, we'll swing by Nintendo.
Who'd you go see?
They're called the Decemberants.
Okay, cool.
It's like a folk rock band out of Portland, Oregon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
And then this weekend, which you guys will be listening on Saturday with the new episode possibly, I'll be at Retro World Expo in Hartford, Connecticut.
Nice.
We're going to display my Mario Kart car inside the convention center and do like a Mario Kart track around it. I got a couple remote control Mario Kart cars that we'll be using.
Nice. That's fun.
That's a fun segue. We're talking about RC cars this week,
right.
Baby. We're going to jump in the warp pipe, go back to little 80s, mostly 90s, and these wacky RC cars.
Yeah, all these crazy cars from back in the day, like you would see the commercials. A lot of it was from Tyco, but they all had these like crazy gimmicks.
Right. Something else than just driving the car around the backyard.
Exactly. Some reason to make it like more extreme or cooler than the previous car. But I just thought that would be a fun topic because I just remember those commercials so vividly. They usually had like a really good announcer,
Oh, yeah. It's like the movie guy.
Yeah,
basically with a deep, exciting voice.
Exactly. And using all these extreme words like it's funny because a lot of those videos as I was watching to prepare for this, it's like the only RC in the planet,
that does this or whatever.
Exactly.
And you're like, I guess that's true.
The only one that has 47 wheels, or whatever the case may be.
We're the only podcast that is weekly and also has Warp Pipe in their name.
That's right. That's right. That's some marketing right there. But starting off, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the date was 89 when this came out, but I'm sure you guys remember it. The Tyco Typhoon.
Epic.
It was
I like how it's TNT, the Tyco Typhoon.
Yeah, little play on the words there. But it was so cool because it was a hovercraft, like that seemed pretty futuristic in 1989.
Right. Instead of just having a race car that goes on dirt and this and that. This one can actually go, I guess cross pavement, like smooth pavement.
Yeah. The kind of gimmick was you could do it on the land or on the water.
And that's pretty awesome because then you could just bring it to maybe if you were near a lake or something like that and show up, everyone be like, I'm in the parking lot. Well, you know what? I'm going to take this baby to the lake as well.
That's right. We're going to skeet it right off the parking lot, right into the water. It doesn't even matter.
But I would probably, use this baby and put some G.I. Joes on it and make it a G.I. Joe vehicle.
Yeah, make it the whale. I don't remember what whale stands for. If Sean from Retro Reminiscence is listening, I'm sure he's like, it stands for this. But it was cool. They made it in two colors.
Okay.
It was black with like a red cushion for the hovercraft.
Oh, okay.
And they made it neon yellow, which is the one I think looks cool, the more extreme, like 80s, 90s color.
That's right.
With like a black cushion.
There we go. Yeah, the two opposites there.
You could get it in either color. They also made it in like a smaller version, like the Tycoon Mini.
Oh, no kidding.
Sorry, Typhoon Mini. Yeah, and then eventually they came out with the Typhoon 2. So I don't know if they like gave it more power or why they had to release like a second edition of it later. But
oh, okay. I guess it was sales were good then.
yeah, I guess so. But some of the commercial quotes that I thought were funny was it says, "Unleash the Typhoon, the only 9.6 speed radio hovercraft in the world." And then it says like the RC that runs on land and water, Typhoon. You've got the turbo power to handle anything.
It's always the turbo they talk about. I think maybe because, cars have a turbo. So they're like, RC cars got to have turbos as well. Make it sound fancy.
Exactly. Yeah. So funny, man. The 1989 Tyco Typhoon. Can't forget that commercial.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Everything else I think is just a regular with wheels. That was the only one that stood out with like the hovering.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the second one we got is from 1992, again by Tyco, the Hammer Truck.
The Hammer Truck. Tyco Hammer is what they called it, but it was like a monster truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So bigger than your regular standard RC car.
Yeah, it was pretty big. A little taller, a little beefier. Looked like it could go over some more rough terrain. Once again, there must have been popular colors back then. They kind of had it in the neon yellow and black. So kind of really bright and stands out.
Right. You got to have those colors that pop.
And I guess just the gimmick of it was just the fact that it was a monster truck. It wasn't like a car.
Right. And, back then, of course, monster truck rallies were real big. Bigfoot and Gravedigger, like the top in the 80s. You watch them crush cars. So, okay, I want an RC car kind of mimicking that. So bigger tires, got like a ram bar on the front. The commercial shows it like plowing through dirt and stuff like that, dirt hills.
Well, it even shows it like running over other cars.
So literally running over the competition.
Yep, exactly. Literally running it over. So it was cool. All these cars are vehicles I never actually owned, but every time I saw the commercial, I definitely wanted it, but I think they were pretty expensive, like, 40, 50, $60 back then.
Oh yeah, easily. So you could only get it either maybe for a birthday present or Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I'd rather have a Nintendo game.
Exactly. Yeah. So sorry, Tyco. And then some of the funny commercial quotes from it were, "It's big, it's bad. It'll blow your doors off."
The doors off of the RC car or the doors of your house?
Yeah, hopefully the doors of the other RC cars.
There we go.
And then the one that I think is really cheesy, "This truck really is a monster."
These are classic. We should get like postcards that will have these quotes we could send out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one.
Could be on your RussLyman card for your channel.
There we go. Yeah, like a Christmas card.
That's right.
Nice. What else we got?
So have you ever heard of this one? The XRC. So we're not on Tyco anymore, but it's the XRC Tire Storm.
Oh, okay. I honestly thought it was a spelling error and was supposed to be Firestorm.
Nope, it's Tire Storm. Yeah. Without looking at the gimmick, see if you can figure out what it does. If you can guess, unless you've already looked.
Well, it's got to be something with the tires, right?
Yeah. So the tires kind of like expand and contract, and they can like widen and like flatten almost.
Okay.
So I guess I don't really know what edge that gave it, other than it was just kind of neat to watch it happen.
Okay, yeah, I see some videos here of it. It almost looks like a Donkey Kong barrel for tires. Like it has like strips going around, and then when you accelerate it, they condense and then make them thinner like a tire.
That's a great word, condense. Exactly. Yeah, I only saw this in like red as far as the colors go for the color scheme of the vehicle.
There is a black one on the commercial I have here, or someone reviewing it. Black, and on like the sides where like the air scoops, it's like yellow and red. Very futuristic, looking like a spaceship almost.
Yeah, it definitely had an interesting shape compared to most of the other vehicles on this list. Almost looks like something you would see like on He-Man or something.
Right. Yeah, and it has like a gold cockpit area, I guess you would say.
Yeah, that's funny.
Very futuristic. Interesting gimmick.
Exactly. Yeah, the tires expand for the Tire Storm. How about you read us some of those quotes, Russ?
Let's see. Okay. Right here. No other RC can survive the Tire Storm.
So silly.
Independent two-wheel control leaves you sizzling spins, relentless wheelies, and extreme jumps that'll leave other RCS in the dust.
Sorry, that's RCs.
Other RCs in dust.
Yep. So if you have the Tire Storm, everybody else just get out of the way.
I guess so.
Unless you have the hammer.
And then you just run that baby over.
Exactly. Yeah, the Tire Storm. That came out in around 95 from what I could find.
Okay.
Do you remember any of these commercials for any of these so far, Russ?
No. I can't say I do.
The Typhoon, you got to remember that one, though,
The
right?
Typhoon, yes. Yeah, the one we already talked about there, the Typhoon. I did bring up one briefly to Jay when we were planning this episode that I remembered, but it's technically not an RC car.
Oh, you're talking about the Animal.
The Animal. It was just you turn it on and it just goes straight. You have no control over the direction.
Yeah, it was battery powered. That thing is cool. I actually had that as a kid. They came in 3 different types. It was a black truck, like a red SUV, almost like a Nissan Pathfinder back in the day, or like a Jeep Grand Cherokee type vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like a yellow car.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I do remember the car.
So once again, that yellow is like coming, everybody used that. But that was like mid 80s. That was like 85 probably when that thing came out.
And their gimmick was it showed it like driving up like a dirt terrain, like a hill, and it gets stuck and it's like release the animal, and these claws would come out of the tire, that like 3 claws. So it's like a triangle or whatever, and it would grip the ground and then you'll be able to drive higher.
Yeah. It actually works surprisingly well. I have mine and have played with it recently.
Nice.
The next one on the list, I couldn't find an exact date for this one.
Okay.
The name of it, they always have these extreme names. It's the Scorcher.
Yeah, it's got to be in red. It can't come in any other color.
Exactly. If it's like a fire, kind of name, it's got to be red, right?
Yep.
So the gimmick on this one is it had 6 wheels.
That's right. Yeah. So it's almost the wheels start off bigger in the back and then progressively get smaller towards the front.
Yeah. So it's like the Scorcher. And I guess I don't really know what the benefit of having 6 wheels was, other than it looked kind of cool.
Well, it's showing in the commercial here. You can do like 360s easier. You wouldn't be able to do that with I think a 4-wheel RC car as easily. It's almost like standing in place, just spinning. Okay,
gotcha. Yeah. I know it's the quotes say 6 wheels of blazing speed was one of them, blazing speed, like because it's the Scorcher. And then 6 wheels to burn up the road and the fastest 360 spins ever. So there's your 360s.
Right. And of course, it's got a 9.6 turbo speed.
That was like the highest any of them ever get. In every single commercial, it's like 9.6, If somebody really wanted to blow away the competition, they would have made it like 9.7.
Now I'm wondering, is that the like voltage of the battery that it's getting?
I think so.
It's referring to it's a 9.6 battery.
Yeah.
Because I know you can put different, like after the fact, people learn like, oh, you can put bigger batteries in it to like make it go fast. Like people like modding. Oh yeah, see, I gotta stop on the image here. Rechargeable 9.6 turbo battery.
Nice. Yep, that's what it is. Yep. But instead of saying 9.6 battery, it's more fun to say 9.6 turbo speed. It's like blast processing for RC cars.
Right. And it does show Tyco put this one out as well, the Scorcher.
Yeah. Yep, that was right. But I remember just seeing that thing on commercials and being like, man, it looks so cool.
I will say I'm looking at the remote for it. And, a lot of these remotes for the cars are like black with like chrome almost accents on it, and you'll have like the name on there. And it just made me think back to like Back to the Future when he's controlling the DeLorean with the remote control controller.
Oh, I wonder if it was a Tyco controller. Do you know if it was?
That'd be a fun fact to look up. Yeah, what prop that they used for him to pretend that he's controlling the car with.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. So that's the Scorcher.
Nice. We're moving on to the Tyco Hijacker.
Yes, the old Hijacker.
This one came in black with yellow or red portion hidden underneath it. And its gimmick was it jacks up for more suspension on rough terrain.
Right. Yeah. So it was kind of like a street car, and then you could drive around like on concrete, asphalt, stuff like that. But if you wanted to take it off road, you'd click this little button and it would jack up and have like a bit more of a bounce to it.
And the car kind of looks like, I'm looking at it, it's, sports car looking, almost like a Knight Rider type car.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
And then when it does jack up, of course, underneath it's got like neon green frame underneath it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like the black sports car, but then you jack it up and it's like, futuristic looking, I guess.
Right. And you're ready to, it's showing it, you can do some jumps with it off the dirt. This way you get a higher suspension because otherwise, you low to the ground, you're going to mess your car up.
That's right. You can get a little more bounce to it.
The jumps that they show in these commercials are ridiculous.
I would love to know like how many times they had to shoot those to get them look just right to make them like the most awesome they could be.
Well, it's great with editing is, they can have a far shot. You see it gliding across the air, across frame, and then the next shot you can just like safely drop it kind of down.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. The power of editing. But yeah, so it was black, like you said, and then like underneath it was either that neon yellowish or that kind of like orangey burnt red kind of looking color. So
yeah. Some of the commercial quotes: turbo speed with the secret, Hijacker.
Exactly.
Goes from road to off-road in a flash. 2 cars in one.
Exactly, which is so stupid because it's not. It's just one car slightly taller.
Slightly taller. Oh my God. These are wild.
Yeah, I love it.
We got a couple more on the list here for sure.
Yeah. Up next, we got the XRC, which I'm assuming was one of the competitors to Tyco. The XRC Daredevil. It had a pretty cool gimmick too. It had like this little piece underneath that kind of like popped out.
Okay.
And like projected the car into the air so you could like jump stuff.
I got you. They almost do that in like actual movies, filming movies for stunts. They have like a piston that will like hit the ground to make the car like flip or whatever I've seen on like Mythbusters or something.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is, except it's a bit wider. It's more of like the shape of the bottom of the car. So that way, I guess the surface area is equally distributed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it can jump up like probably like 2-3 steps. So it's got some height to it. It's probably a smaller RC car from what I remember in the pictures.
Gotcha. So you could set up, lay your G.I. Joes out and jump over them.
Exactly. Yep. Evil Knievel style.
Right. I guess that's why they named it like the Daredevil.
That's right. Yeah, and it had like a yellow front to it. So once again, there's that yellow with like a blue back.
Okay.
And then the commercial quote that I pulled off that one was, "If you got the skills, you get the thrills." and then the most 90s quote ever: "Get your RC butt off the ground."
Like what?
Exactly.
These have to be T-shirts.
Oh no!
Inspirational quotes.
Get your RC butt off the ground.
Moving on to 1992, Tyco again, they're the king of like RC.
They were the king.
Fast Traxx with 2 X's, TRAXX.
Yeah, the Fast Traxx.
Color is red and yellow. In the car, and then it was black for a truck.
Yeah, they had a truck version of it.
See if I can find the yes, here's the commercial. Oh yeah. Again, it's very futuristic looking. So it has wheels, but it has like tank tracks basically on it.
Yep.
I would describe it as.
Exactly. So that was kind of the gimmick on this, is like it didn't have like traditional wheels, but like more like tank treads, like you said.
Yeah, so it stood out a little bit more, and it'd be able to go through rougher terrain, more dirt and hills and stuff like that. Maybe some rocky terrain.
I wonder how well it like got traction though. You know what I mean?
Right, because it's just like this thin, tiny piece of rubber that's going.
With like some bumps, and like the middle of it, there's nothing really filling it out. So,
right, because it's only got what two tires on each side. It doesn't fill it up like a tank, like having 4 wheels on each side.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to see some video of that. I mean, obviously in the commercial they make it look awesome, but maybe like some.
I mean, I found a couple people doing reviews of the cars that I'll be putting onto the side here so you guys can see.
Nice.
But. Yeah, it definitely looks fun. Looks like it could be fast, like just because of the tracks.
Yeah,
maybe getting more surface area to the ground, so it could, and maybe at least if you're going for a race at standstill, it could get the gun on them.
Maybe a little more grip there.
Yeah.
They had to reach pretty far for their quote on this one.
Okay.
It's the fastest radio controlled track vehicle in the world. It's that word track in there.
But they had to slip it in because then, see, it's totally true because it's the only.
It's probably the only one. Exactly. The 92 Tyco Fast Traxx.
Nice. All right. We're moving on to an RC car that I actually had growing up and I still have today.
Take it away, Russ.
That's the Tyco Ricochet. This bad boy right here, it's definitely seen some better days. It's pretty beat up, but it's basically an RC car that you can drive on either side. It would hit a bump and flip over, and then it had a different design, and then you can continue driving the car. So one side is like this big engine that's exposed with a neon yellow exterior, and then when you flip it over, mine is maroon with like a gold cockpit, so to say, and it says the name across, but it has these big beefy tires that are super bouncy, so you could drive this thing like downstairs, down some rocks, and tumble it all around, and then it'll right itself on either of the ways, and you continue on your way controlling it.
It's kind of like an orange color, right? Like the top part.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a neon orange.
Yeah, that looks so sick. So what's cool about that is my son has one. It's definitely not called that, but it's the same concept.
Yeah, and it's a little bit smaller, but
basically
you got just blue top, white bottom.
Yeah, and it has like little lights that cut on no matter which way it goes. But yeah,
nice.
So those are that idea is still being done today.
And I thought that was great because then if you're new to RC cars and you don't want to like break it or whatever, you give this to them. It's got the big wheels. You could just ram it into the curb and, no consequences.
Yeah. Like it's like the perfect RC car for any kid, because like, what's the most annoying part about an RC car other than the battery dying? It's like when it flips over and you have to go pick it up and put it back, Right.
Yeah. It could be down the road. I would say side story. I did have like an expensive RC car that my dad bought that would do like, 40 miles an hour or 50 miles, like so fast, like it could race a car. And it was very, how would you say, like sensitive with the controller. And it actually had, I don't know why it would have this, but you have your up and down for going forward and then left and right. And on the sides of that, it had like a dial where you can, like make it a little bit more towards that. And I would sometimes hit it all the way and it's almost like a turbo. And then I'd end up like smashing into the curb and it would break the axle. And we had to like glue it back together so many times.
Oh, it was almost like too good.
Right. Like, I should have been playing more with the Ricochet than this one here. I'm sure that one cost probably like, $200-$300 back in the day at like Toys R Us or whatever.
Right. Yeah. The Ricochet was like the perfect kid car.
These quotes are amazing too.
Go ahead and read them.
Commercial quotes. Announcing a revolution on wheels. Drive it like you hate it.
It is the truth, though.
That's it. It takes the abuse, and I said it. This is the one I had growing up, and it's beat up. You can see like on it. It's definitely seen some better days, but it still works. It says impact zone. There's a sticker here. It says impact zone.
That's
on
amazing.
It.
Do you still have the control for it?
Yeah, it's somewhere. I knew where the car was, so I could grab that quickly. Whether the battery still works, I don't know. I probably would have to order a new one to charge it and stuff, but yeah, I could clean this baby up. We'll take it out.
I think you should do it. That thing looks so sick. I love it. So that's interesting because yours is maroon and orange, and the colors I saw were like red on one side and blue on the other.
Yeah, some of the commercials I had looked up, I was like, oh, okay, they did come in different colors, but yeah, that was the one that I had. Not quite as cool like a maroon. You're like, eh.
No, I kind of like the maroon. I think that's cool.
Maybe it stands out since everything was like yellow and red.
Yeah, no, I think it's rad. Actually, if I was to go online right now, eBay, because I kind of want one, I would try to find the same one you have.
Yeah.
But I have been known to copy you, Russ. Bought the same camera.
Bought the same camera. I'm still waiting for you to buy the same mug.
Oh, I know. Lord of mercy.
Get your weekly warp pipe mug on my Etsy shop. Just search RussLyman.
One day I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to have it. Actually, you won't be surprised because you'll see the receipt. So what's funny about the Ricochet is in 1995, Tyco made the same exact car and renamed it the Rebound.
Oh, that's right. Because I was looking up stuff and I'm like, wait, that's just like my Ricochet.
So I don't know which one came first or why they rebranded it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't do as good of a job with the quotes. I'll tell you that.
Lackluster on it.
Because they don't say drive it like you hate it, which really stands out to me. So kind of same color scheme, red on one side, blue on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Gimmick, same as the Ricochet. The
same
wheels
thing.
Kind of touch no matter which way it flips. The quotes were, it does stunts no other RC car can perform, which is a lie because the Ricochet could have done that.
True.
Only Tyco Rebound does in your face flips and the Sidewinder. Now, that is one thing I don't know that the Ricochet did. Did the Ricochet, like if you put it on its side, would it do like spins?
I don't know. I mean, I never tried it. I guess it could kind of work in concept. The wheel doesn't really touch, but the plastic part would. I mean, that would still turn though.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe that was the redesign. It was like more connected to the rim maybe or something.
Maybe.
But anyway, basically the same car. I don't really know what I would love to know somebody who was like a real like Tyco connoisseur, like if they knew the story behind it.
Gary might. Rock Solid Productions.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Gary. He is a an RC car fan. I don't know if he's into like this, like the consumer grade from back in the day, but I know he's into the big ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, Russ, you want to tell us about this next one?
This one I'm pretty excited for.
It's cool.
It's a cool one. All right, this came out 93, 94 by Tyco, and it's called The Python. It came blue with orange and yellow accent colors. And you ready for the gimmick, people. It's a radio-controlled Python. So that comes out of the vehicle and it shoots water. So it's a regular car. You're just driving around. You hit this button. Boom. Big old Python head comes out and then squirts water. So, of course, you have to drive this thing up and squirt your sister with it, annoying her and your parents.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, and the commercial was pretty funny too, because like the guy was bent over, like doing some gardening, and the Python sneaks up right behind it and squirts him right in the butt. You know,
right in the butt. And he's like turns around like super shocked, like, "Oh my god, what is this?"
Python. Yeah. The vehicle was blue, and the Python was like orange and yellow. It was pretty cool. It had a really neat look to it. The one thing I'm curious about though is like when the Python is up, I wonder if that made it like off balance at all.
Right.
Because it's set up pretty high.
Oh, yeah. It's a good maybe 6-7 inches tall.
Yeah.
And how much water, I wonder, can fit in there? And is that going to like mess with your balance driving around.
Right. Yeah. Like how many squirts do you get out of the Tyco Python?
Right. But I mean, it looks pretty sweet. Again, it's it's a cool little truck. It's got the light, the lights across the top, some neon tires.
Yeah, I like those tires.
Well, like the rims rather, not the tires itself, but 6 volts jet turbo it's got.
Yeah. So what's funny is I'm looking at a picture of it on Google right now, and it was originally $49.99, but on this there was a $5 savings. It was $44.99. But that's expensive
for back then. Yeah,
$50, and that I don't think that was a very large like RC car. It looks fairly small.
Right. Yeah, definitely not the size of the Ricochet.
Yeah, I'm sure that little snake part was probably pretty light. Maybe they made it lighter so that way it wouldn't affect the car flipping over.
Right. And then I wonder how many times, so you're driving and you say you crash and then you mess up the Python gimmick. And then it's like, well, now it's just a regular car and not cool.
With like a big yellow gap in the middle of it.
Right.
That's funny. Yeah.
I wonder if anyone put like other liquids in there, like some Mountain Dew or
like spray it in my mouth.
Drive it over your friend. I'm thirsty, man. Driving over.
Get the Tyco Python coming to hydrate you, bro. With some Gatorade.
What we got for commercial quotes?
Go ahead, Russ. Have at it.
With lightning speed, it powers over everything. It delivers awesome speed and a radio control surprise that they'll never expect.
And that would be the Python.
The Python.
Lightning speed. I love that. Powers over everything.
It slithers over the competition.
Like, that's what they should have said, right?
I added that one.
Yeah. Or like, puts other RC cars in a squeeze.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Russ, Tyco needs to hire us.
This is good. It's good. We got one more on the list. 1997. The Tyco Tantrum. And you got one of these, Jay?
So I don't have the Tantrum. This one came out in 2005. I found this at a garage sale, and it looked to be in pretty good shape. It's called the Cyclone. But basically the gimmick is identical.
It's the same. Okay.
Yeah. And it's that the front wheels roll independently. So it's like 2-wheel drive in the back. And since these roll independently, there's a motor on the front that spins this.
Like a propeller, basically.
Like a propeller. So the front 2 wheels spin like a propeller, which is cool because if it flips over, you can just click the little button and the wheels will like pop it back over.
Right.
It can do all kind of like aggressive little maneuvers because of that.
Yeah, it has like, the commercial showing it just like flipping around and doing all these stunts because you could keep spinning the wheels, which would then propel the car into the air or, doing somersaults or something. And
they put this like this fin on the back or a spoiler, I guess, that like raised up and it almost acted like as a prop. So it could do like wheelies and stuff.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So it balances.
There's like little roll bars on there. So it'll help it roll.
Oh, how about that?
Tearing up the back of it. So yeah, actually, the one I bought at the yard sale, it worked for like a day really, really well. And then it quit working. So I was like, crap. Well, now I want one that works. So I went on eBay and I found this one with the box, which I think I ended up throwing away because it was kind of dilapidated.
Okay.
But yeah, this thing from 2005, it works great. I was driving it around yesterday because I was all excited about our podcast today.
And so the original one, the Tyco Tantrum, came in black with the yellow stickers or red with yellow stickers.
Yeah, where mine's orange and green, but I also saw it in blue and yellow. But I don't know what the company that made mine is, but it's basically exactly the same.
Right, they just took that same gimmick and were like, yeah, let's do one of those.
Yeah. So some of the quotes from this one are the meanest, oh my God, the meanest radio control stunt machine you've ever seen with one-of-a-kind cyclone steering. So that was what they termed it, cyclone steering.
Of course.
The madder it gets, the badder it gets. till it throws an all-out tantrum.
That's right. You got to say the name of the car in the quote.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool that they could throw the name in there like that.
Definitely unique, and yeah, having RC cars were fun. I played with mine. I would go to my dad's on the weekend, and he was at my cousin's house, and they had in their backyard lots of dirt and stuff like that for tracks to set up. Like they carved like paths like for the RC cars to kind of like,
oh, nice,
almost like dirt bike tracks, like how it kind of comes up on a curve when you're coming around, so you can make
like a little
turn.
bank.
Yeah, like a little bank. So I'd take the car out there, and we were on a dead end street too. So then driving the cars in the street was fine because you weren't getting that much traffic.
Right. Yeah, we live on a cul-de-sac, so it's kind of nice. We can take the ones we have and ride them out in the cul-de-sac, and my son can kind of go crazy with them. I need to get these charged up because I had a lot of fun. A, talking about this, but B, driving it around yesterday, getting ready, getting amped for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's nothing like playing with some fun RC cars. We did get my wife and I. Her mom got us RC cars from Costco. I had purchased them like a year or so ago, and they were regular cars. And I think the ones she got us were actually like ATVs. I think it's Yoshi and Mario.
Oh,
but
sick.
like the controls are so odd that we played with them for a little bit. Then we ended up just putting them back in the box, where it's not like fluid steering. It's just like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain.
Is it like two up is go, but like left up is left and right up is right?
It might be like that. It was like just weird to get used to. And I was like, well, I mean, also too, we were driving these around in the house.
Right.
So
right.
If you're in big and open parking lot, maybe you'll have more fun with it.
Right.
But we're going to be bringing them out to Retro World, so we'll see how the kids enjoy them there.
Yeah. Try that 2 thumbsticks up. It might be straight. And then
okay.
Left up is left, right up is right. Or
right.
But it does like a full circle, I think. The only other thing I was going to bring up real quick is my son got this Gravedigger car for Christmas last year from his grandmother.
Yeah.
The technology on this thing is crazy. It can actually balance on its back wheels.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what it has in it that it allows it to do that, but I'm not talking like this. I'm talking like just like on its back wheels.
Yeah.
They'll just kind of hang there. It's wild.
So RC cars have come a long way.
If you want to buy a new one for your kid this Christmas, the Gravedigger, you can find it at Target. It's got some pretty sweet features.
Nice. Excellent. Well, guys, we appreciate you listening to the podcast. Feel free to leave some reviews for us if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music. And be sure to leave a comment if you're watching it here on YouTube. You can catch me on YouTube, Instagram, TikToks, and all that at RussLyman. And where can we find you, Jay?
NES Addict, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And sometimes I sell on Whatnot when I feel like it.
There you go. Sweet, guys. Well, as always, I'm RussLyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Vroom.